Go for
You
it.
know, as far as I'm
We
concerned, I'm not calling it.
need to work on the lighting.
We do, you know, I need camera people in here. All right.
Hello, that's Bill.
That is Joel. Here's my agenda.
Right next to Bill. We talked about letting go.
Oh,
Go.
all right, it can be our
Wait a
camera. I'm like, you have an extra, if he was like, oh, thank you.
David Howard.
I haven't heard from him. So, if anyone is interested in public participation this morning, I have one sign in. So if you would like to say anything during our public participation portion today. If you, I know that there's some people that are coming for public participation and they were possibly going to request that we move that portion up. Are they here right now? Okay. Then I'm just gonna, should I pass this around over there? Everyone? No? Okay, all right. Well, it's here in case anybody wants to grab it, just, you know, bring it in and out. If you feel so moved. So I would, in the interest of time, I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. If we can have a roll call of members of the LSC, and Joel, if you don't mind starting with you.
Joel Paulraj, parent representative.
Bill Harmon, parent representative.
Jennifer Alford, teacher representative.
Anthony Castillo, parent representative. Amy Ellison, parent representative and LSC chair.
Robert Lee, parent representative.
Debbie Dean, NARA staff representative.
Amy Thacker, teacher representative. Mallory Dunn, parent representative and secretary. We have David Feller, community rep. Did you go? All right, so we do have votes today, so we've established a quorum and we've had our roll call. If we could stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We have someone, we have people here who are going to be speaking to the LSC this morning, and so I would like to go ahead and move up public participation before we approve the agenda. I'd like to move up public participation, and I would also like to move up the vote, the budget transfer vote for the funds for the cadre stuff. I'd like to do those two things sort of right off the bat this morning, so we make sure that we have all of the people that we need here for our votes. So if I can have someone move to approve the agenda change.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, the motion passes and we've changed, we've amended the agenda. And do I have to do an approval after I amend it? Okay,
I'll be all in favor to approve.
yeah. And then we also need to approve the minutes from last time. Does anybody have any amendments to the minutes as they were presented by Ms. Milan? Alright, so all in favor of approving the minutes from the November meeting? Well, actually, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor of approving the minutes from the November meeting?
Aye.
Motion passes and the minutes are approved. So let's go ahead and do the vote for the funds for the cadre sub.
So for the cadre position that Mr. Sergic will be in, so the way that we sort of worked it out, we're actually going to save a little bit of money by putting him in our in one of our maternity leave positions and then having another sub covering, but eventually that's going to run out, so that's why we do need that cadre position. And there's a $10,000 negative on there, just that's a regular payroll that gets put out. So instead of basically I'm putting in $30,000 into that position for the rest of the year, and that will cover what we need. I'm going to show you guys on our budget what I was talking about. So, all right, so when you look by your funds by month, your funds by month, you have, so these are typical payroll budgets, negatives that happen as people get paid out, and then we make up for that throughout the year with different budget transfers. So right now, there's like a $10,000 negative just from our regular, that normally comes out of like after school and other things. We're transferring the money from this line, which is let's see here. It's the personnel position, regular position plan, where we're going to be transferring the money out of that. So $30,000 will go from there into this line, allowing $20,000 to pay the rest of his salary for the rest of the year and cover this negative. So that's in essence what we're doing with the budget. That should get us through the rest of the year. And again, the reason that we're doing that is to support our DL initiative, to make sure that we're giving support to teachers in fourth grade specifically, who are taking on the role of general education and special education as well.
So the cadre sub gives them that support?
It pays out. It keeps paying that once he's moved out of that maternity position that's paying for it right now.
Okay.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Polito? We've discussed this before in other meetings. Does anybody, is there any discussion? Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the transfer of the funds?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? All in favor of moving the funds from that, what is the name of that?
So the budget line was, or it's 115 funds.
From one to 115 or from 115?
It's from 115. It stays in 115. We're moving it from line number 115, 51300, 29001, to 115, 51320, 29001.
Okay.
We good?
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, the motion carries and we have approved the transfer of the funds. Okay, so I know that we have people here who are interested in speaking to the LSC this morning, which is why we moved up the public participation. So, Elena, would you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Elena Zigman. I'm trying to create a diverse needs community parent school group here in Clear. And I'm hoping to be a subcommittee under the LSC. I don't know if that means a vote, but that's why I'm here this morning. And I have typed out a couple of agendas, if you guys want to look at, pass these around. These are what we're already working on. And we've already started talking to the staff and working with the staff on things like the sexual education curriculum, like CPS has certain curriculums for certain grade levels. They didn't have anything for our diverse learners. So right now we're working with the staff to help bring in things from other schools that are around our community. It's time to get kids ready for school. I hope that, we can get an excitement level as much as we have been excited to start this community. The other things that we're working on is bringing in people like, I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Bo Goody. She's an advocate for families. She's also been a CPS principal and has worked with diverse learners herself. She's already agreed that she would come in maybe January, February and talk to our families and help them walk through what an IEP 504 process is. Currently, we're out there looking for a transitional team that would join her that day to also talk to our families of diverse learners moving into high schools. so that we can help build a bridge and pathway, so it's not so scary. And like I said, you can look at the agenda and just see what you've been up to, so.
In order for this to be a subcommittee of the LSC, one member of the LSC has to be a member of the committee.
Jen, oh no, she's not.
Jen's not a member of the LSC.
Okay,
So we do need a member of the LSC to be willing to attend meetings. I mean, it sounds like this group is already sort of off and running, and I don't know that there would be a whole lot of administrative work that goes on with that, agreeing to be on the LSC committee. I would love to be on this committee, but I just really cannot.
we really are a fast-growing group. I already have 3 other parents who want to be a part of it. Unfortunately, they are also not on the committee. But there are 5 members right now, and we would be able to pretty much like walk you guys through it if anybody would be willing, and it would be one Monday every month. I think wellness committee meets what?
The first Monday.
So we would be the last Monday.
Okay, yeah. So I would encourage everyone here to think about this. We can't actually hold an official vote on it today. But we will most likely have to have a special meeting because there are a number of votes that have been made aware in the last 2 days. So we'll probably be able to get that approved fairly soon, but we would just need an LSC member to do it. I think that this is a fantastic idea for a number of reasons. Diverse learner needs comes up as an issue at LSC meetings pretty frequently. And to have kind of a parental watchdog group that's keeping an eye on things and working with staff and making sure that needs are getting met and understanding all the ins and outs of everything, I think it would be a great boon to our committee in making sure that we're meeting the needs of these students. So,
I didn't see it as a watchdog group, but I didn't want to go into it in that way. I think it was more of just a.
It's more of a team effort between faculty and parents, but certainly parents will be there in a sense to protect their kids. So, I mean, but it definitely is a team effort to bridge, to move forward, to help, build up the accolades of the school.
I don't mean watchdog in a pejorative sense. I just mean in a making sure that, there's a lot that goes on with, ensuring that DO students are getting everything that they need. Feels to me like on the CPS level, less so on the FERC level, but on the CPS level, there are constant changes. And for example, this sexual education curriculum that really there is nothing for the DL students currently. I mean, that's a big thing for us to be watchdoggy about.
Well, certainly without the team effort of Jen Jones and Michelle, I mean, we wouldn't have come up with an idea to move forward, and they're in the process of building something together right now so that our kids can have.
Yeah. So if, I don't know, I'm not asking for a commitment right now, but if folks could think about it, it would be, I think, a great help to.
One group of ladies, or? I'm sorry.
What time are your meetings?
So the meetings would be every other month with morning after drop off and then after school. We would give all parents the opportunity to be a part of this, either after drop off 1 month or then the next month it would be after school.
Last Monday, okay.
What is the benefit of being an LSC subcommittee? Like, I don't, just so I can.
What's the benefit?
Yeah, instead of just operating independently.
Well, we tried to do a subcommittee of the PTA, but we didn't want to hurt the finance side of it, because they would be, raising funds and, we can't really be a part of Friends of Thorpe because that really wouldn't be a part of it. So we do need to be a part of the committee, a part of the school somehow, and the LSC would be the other one. So.
I think the biggest difference would be, as a subcommittee of the LSC, you report. So you have that subcommittee reports, so there would be a monthly report to the LSC on the parent committee. Other alternatives as well, it could be a subcommittee of PPLC, it could be a subcommittee of, if there are teachers that are involved with it. And with PTA again,
I think I'd rather us be underneath a subcommittee of the LSC to further this is because we're parents and we're driving this, not the teachers. We are working with the teachers, but it's the parents, the public who's out there.
Right, I'm just giving, presenting, different alternatives, or it could be a standing, its own.
DL concerns have tended to have like, a wide, a wide reach in terms of curriculum, in terms of safety, in terms of, for example, the sexual health curriculum. Things that as an LSC is really helpful for us in order to make decisions and think about budgeting. And so for them to be able to report back to the LSC will have sort of the greatest impact and might actually be able to change policy or, bring concerns to a place where, work can be done in such a way that things can be changed. So whenever policy and curriculum is involved, LSC sometimes, it can be a really good place for some things. Not always, but.
So I do want to mention one of the reasons I was really excited when Ms. looking about this committee particularly was the information that parents will get from this committee. I think it will be very valuable because there hasn't been there are IEP meetings and people meet and talk individually, but as a corporate group, like for example, parents with students in foster programs, they have very special needs, and bringing in outside speakers to speak with them, great idea, something like that. Because I think we're pretty good at responding to needs that come up throughout, but it's a mixture of parental concerns, but also parental information, and also just a good way for the teachers to also hear the parental side that's not necessarily an IP. That was my I was very enthusiastic when I heard that.
Okay, so I will be kind of touching base with everybody, both about anyone who might be interested in the whole committee, but also officially voting it in. So, let's see. Okay, any other questions or concerns about that? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak during public participation? Okay, great. Just moving on to sort of LSC housekeeping, did everybody get an email from the Office of LSC Relations in the past 2 weeks about the updated resource guide and also about your trainings? Okay, if you have not completed your trainings, it must be done by the end of December. So they've set lots of different deadlines, but I think this is the absolute last final deadline. So please get your trainings done by the end of December 2018. And also, if you have the ability to print out that resource guide, I would recommend having it on hand. It is really, really helpful. I think using the updated one is preferable, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw that email and is aware of it.
If I can add something, Amy, for all of those that have completed your LSC and got the certificate, if you bring it in, I can go in and get it scanned down to the correct people. So as you complete your modules there, bring it in so that I can get it in the, that it says that you're completed and get it down to Oscar and LSC Relations.
It's been so long that I think I did all of it, but
I can check. Yeah, I can check. If you're not sure what module you did or if you did any, I can check for you.
You can also go and it will
It will show you on the
if you
LSC.
go online. Yeah, if you go online.
So if we did them all, we have to do.
No, I think if you, and you could sit at a computer and within a few hours have every single module done, because it doesn't take days and days, it's just like a commitment to work.
They want you to pass, so if you haven't done it, it's sort of like you go through it and you can always go back and get the answers and all that kind of stuff. So.
But if you want to go back over some modules, I would encourage right now for everybody to go over like the Principal Evaluation Committee module, just to sort of an update on those kinds of things. Also looking at the budget. Those are ones that are just really relevant to the LSC. So just take a, those are always good to just go back and take a look at every now and then, just as a refresher. Okay, so moving on to the LSC committee reports and discussion. The PPLC, we have a report from the PPLC.
So in regards to the restorative justice and detention policy, Tom Mackey is heading. They are having their first meeting today with their student council representatives from grades 5 through 8. He has created a student questionnaire, which basically is asking for student feedback on school rules. And he's also going to have a discussion on the 5 essentials so that they are understanding the questions when they are filling out when they're filling out that survey. So the first meeting is today, so we'll see what happens.
And that, no, they as a committee have met before, this is the first meeting of the student council.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, so they as a committee about restorative justice, they have met before.
Yeah.
But they're just now,
So
this is
we
the
met,
first meeting
yeah.
with the students. Yeah.
Yes, so we met and we have, a handful of sample like questions and questionnaire, surveys and stuff for the students, so the student council's gonna meet, discuss and put together a survey or questionnaire to put on Google Classroom or whatever, form, whatever, for, the students to take in school and come back and do.
Okay. Is there anything else from you guys? Any other highlights that you just want to touch on?
The survey that there's, that he's sending to the students, can we get a copy of it so that we can see what the students are?
Oh, of course, and then there's gonna be something for the teachers too,
Okay, just so
and
that,
then we're,
so that we have a
Yeah.
pulse on what they're
Yeah.
all.
I mean, they're gonna be putting it together, he's got a bunch of sample, they're all really good.
So the whole idea is to give student voice in some of these things, not necessarily saying, because it all falls under the equal responsibility anyway, right? But there are some times that students would say, well, you know, I may get attention in this class for this, but I won't get it for that. Why? You know, that type of thing, and having that type of conversation, I think is worthwhile. But again, just one of the things that I like to do is helping students advocate for themselves as they grow up. You know, they're learning how to interact with adults, they're learning how to resolve conflict and resolve issues through dialogue. So I think it's going to be a very, very strong leadership opportunity.
I mean, as far as the lesson planning format, we're talking about, you know, there's a committee meeting to create a lesson planning format, that we're gonna encourage the teachers to use.
I think we decided to just focus on like the essential questions.
Oh, yeah, and so, sorry. Right,
Well, so because CPS doesn't really maintain a specific format, I think we're going to take it, instead of encouraging, well, I mean, it's always nice to encourage teachers to have a similar format, but because that's not always going to be possible. I think the focus is going to be on like the essential questions that are required for lesson planning.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens from there.
Some of the feedback that we got from that committee yesterday was, they didn't want to go around and say, hey, look, this is the format that we need to do. I can't do it as a principal because that's against union contract. And that's why I was encouraging teachers, as he said, if we're looking at, lesson plans come in two different fashions. There's the big picture idea, those are your unit plans, and there's the day-to-day, these are the daily lesson plans. As a teacher, the most useful ones are your day-to-day and daily lesson plans. As an administration or as a school, big unit plans and how they sort of tie into each other are much more beneficial, right? And we sort of need both. We need to figure out how to make that work. What came out of the discussion from the lesson planning committee was ultimately that we are meeting in vertically aligned subject committees. So once a month, all the math teachers from, right now it's 3rd through 8th, math, science, social studies, et cetera, we meet once a month to discuss practices that are going on and talking about it there. So as we're looking into our lesson plans, observing each other, working together, I think that's a much better way to approach this anyway. So that was the feedback and the dialogue we sort of.
right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna amend with, in the vertical alignment committees, we're gonna try and come up with some comment, I mean, it doesn't, again, necessarily, but some kind of comment, or we wanna see these 5 important elements in whatever format we use, so. So when we say vertical
Yeah,
alignment, like
very
the math teachers and all the different grade levels will meet together, that's every subject, yeah. Right.
Thanks very much. Your next meeting is,
February 12th.
February 12th? So the CIWP, work plan committee, that is not really currently meeting right now. We have to have it on our agenda. Principal evaluation committee, Bill, you wanna say anything about our last meeting?
December 5th. Really, the focus was the 2019 survey. You guys all did receive an email with the 2018 survey. Hopefully you had a chance to look at it, review it. We're trying to have a sense of continuality, have the same report from last year, this year. But if there is any changes, any suggestions, we'd be open to hearing those. Certainly in our next meeting, but we'd like to vote on on improving the survey and getting out. One of the things we discussed is how do we get it to more people? Right? The numbers for the survey were, not as encouraging as I hoped they were from last year. So we want to keep that up. And get it improved and get it out really almost on a weekly basis, almost on for at least a month on the fourth Friday letter. So do you want to vote on that?
Well, I think that I think just if people are aware of the survey, they can really take a look at the survey to see if there's anything additional about the survey that you feel like is necessary. Teachers, if you can take a look at the survey, just to make sure that it's giving the information that we want. And everybody got the email with that survey? Okay, great.
So will we vote on that next meeting so that we can get this started?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, our next meeting's not till February.
Well, we're gonna have to have a special meeting between here and then. But because we have to approve the final summative rating for the principal. We also have some things that I just got information on that we're gonna have to also vote on. So we're gonna have a special meeting between
No, February.
now and February. So, yeah, so we're gonna just squeeze that in sometime. So,
Okay.
yeah. And the final summative rating, we're obviously not gonna be able to vote on that today, but all of the information has finally been input into last year's rating. So, every year, we do this principal evaluation process. The committee does its own rating that's based on surveys from the teachers and parents, its own personal experience, input from various committee members. Then there are other aspects of the rating that also get input by CPS itself. And those aspects of the rating have to do with attainment, growth, test scores, attendance, all of the other ways that the principal gets evaluated. So those have just now been finally input for the 2017-2018 school year. So the crazy thing about all this is that we, as a committee, have to vote to approve that evaluation, even though it was the evaluation that the committee did last year was done by a completely different principal evaluation committee. And this will be the first time that everyone here has seen that total evaluation. So it's one of the little sort of idiosyncrasies about the LSC. So, but we do have to have it approved by January 31st of 2019. So everyone needs to look at that evaluation, and we will need to have a special committee, a special meeting, unfortunately, because there are a lot of votes that we have to take. One of them is to approve that evaluation for the 2017-2018 school year with all of the final information in there. And others will be probably around the survey that we were just talking about. And then I also have, and I'll talk about this during the report for Friends of Thorpe, we also have some things we have to approve for Friends of Thorpe fundraisers. So we will try to make that as painless as possible when we do have that special meeting, but it doesn't matter.
Amy, may I suggest that maybe before we leave, since we have such a good quorum here, to make that date now?
Sure,
I think we're only missing Sensei.
Yeah.
So I mean, another week, it's the break, and then we're back in January already, so
Right.
maybe that first week of January for the special meeting, if you need to have that ASAP.
Yeah, we will give that a try. So anyway, those are the things that, we have to consider for the principal evaluation committee. And, you know, for next year, we'll try to keep that in mind, although it feels like they have it at different times every year, to keep everything updated. So, okay. Anything, anybody have any questions or discussion about the principal evaluation committee?
Why was it such a, I guess, the participation last year wasn't as,
About 150 people last year, filled in the survey.
That's about, I mean, that's
Yeah.
about what it usually is. I think that Bill was surprised
Yes, I
when he
was
heard
surprised,
the
yes.
participation level. He expected that there would be higher participation than that. But that's not too different from
Right.
year-to-year participation in the survey as usual. I think that we always want to improve participation in the survey and try to think of ways we can get it. I think we would really like to improve participation on staff and teachers. And just to get it out to more parents and just really be encouraging. And I don't know that we've used every single resource available to us to get the survey out there. People are accessing information in so many different ways. I think the Friday letter is probably the best way that we usually use. It has a pretty high open rate. Also, in the past, during report card pickup days, we've had lots of people, standing around encouraging people to fill out the survey, and that's usually the last day of the survey, is report card pickup in the spring. So, we can definitely talk about different ways to make sure that we encourage participation and get it out here.
are we putting the survey out in different languages as well, or just?
I believe in the past we had kids that good to Spanish. But I think that's the only other one that we had.
But I think it will be advantageous for us, that we have Ms. Jacinto here, who's with the bilingual committee, and we do have more bilingual parents coming in, and I was really happy to see a lot of the bilingual parents at the Winter Fest this last weekend, so with Ms. Jacinto, she can help us with the bilingual surveys.
So just to give you guys a little bit of perspective in terms of the opening of the Friday letter. So when the Friday letter goes out, we get about 57% who actually read it. So we get about 600 families, right? So you're looking from those 300 and so who typically open the Friday letter, about half of them respond. So actually 150 is probably a little bit higher than in some years past. Almost about 120, something like that. So it wasn't necessarily that low.
I think it was 160 previous years, so it came down a little, but not, So, but that's staff and parents combined. So, we have 800 kids here, that doesn't necessarily translate up to 200, we could, try to set some goals that way, but, yeah, so that's still.
And one last question, how much staff participation is the other number, like?
I don't have the number exactly in front of me, but I think staff participation was at about, did you say 40?
Oh, I was gonna say 30,
30, was it 30?
but I wanted to see your number to take a match.
Yeah, I think it's,
Well, because I didn't wanna, I thought it was around.
it's 30 to 40. We have 70 staff members, right? We have 70 staff members.
Do you know exactly how many? Something.
I know exactly how many we have. So there's 75 roughly with teachers and SECAs. Total with recess tutor, lunch and all that, we have about 90 people working school. So that's what we have. I don't remember what our numbers were in terms of staff. Normally staff is pretty good.
It was 30 to 40.
Yeah.
It was 30 to 40. So I would like to get the staff numbers up. But we can continue to talk about that in the committee piece, yeah. And the next principal evaluation committee meeting, Bill, I believe is January 10th. Yeah. So get that in the minutes. Next January 10th. Okay. If there's nothing else, we can move on to the bilingual advisory committee reports.
I didn't miss them for a few weeks. I was not able to do it, but okay.
We our last, bi-weekly meeting, somewhere, I can dig that if needed. But, what the parents talked about were outreach to parents in the, who have children who are in the bilingual program. So they've asked.
Good morning, students, staff, parents. Please stand for the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. And this morning, I have two guests with me.
My name is Ethan from 106. This is Max from 106. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We love Matt. I love Mr. Robles' class because he's funny. Math is so fun because you get to add and subtract.
Okay, good job, guys. All right, this morning, it looks like it's nice enough out there for everybody to be outside. We will, however, play it by ear with the rain, okay? So thank you and have a great day.
So, the outreach to the parents, they also talked about, holiday cards we were gonna send out. We also talked about, our end of the year assembly, so we were talking about having like a multicultural, we were focusing on a multicultural type of assembly. Those are the big things. It's a good group. We have a really invested group. So.
Then we'll have the meeting Friday.
Yes, there's a meeting Friday.
And in another school in Henry Elementary School
Okay.
from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then after that, they are coming to the meeting here from 1:30 to 7.
Okay, and that's this Friday?
Yes.
Okay. That's a lot of meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to do last year, meetings at the same day.
But they enjoy the meetings.
That's
They're
great.
very-
Yeah, we enjoy it.
It's like,
They give different food all the time.
yeah, they're very happy. It's a ladies' day out.
That's great. Oh, right. Anything else you know? So, next is the wellness committee, and I can report on that we had our meeting, on December 3rd. And, we are working on, a survey, homework survey, that will go out to students, parents, and teachers, about homework practices, what people find important about homework, what people find that they don't like about homework. So we're trying to get, a really broad picture because there are very strong feelings about homework on both sides. But we want to be representative of as many different points as we possibly can. Currently, we're still planning on having, the town hall on homework on February 7th. We'll try to work hard to get that survey out that, we'll have to look at our ability to do that because we want to make sure that we do a good job on the survey. We have teachers from UPLC who are involved, Ms. Moline, Mr. Coughlin, and Ms. McNally are all working on the teacher portion of the survey. So we've had teachers who are pleased about. And currently, we don't have another wellness committee meeting until February. We really weren't going to meet in January, but we probably won't have to try to meet in January to try to work on the survey. January seems to be a time when work still needs to get done, despite our having some meetings. So, anyway, that is the wellness committee update. LSC Communication Committee, I don't know what's happening.
I realized that I did not post the October minutes until like yesterday. So those are posted in Pi, so sorry about that. And I totally dropped the ball on video. So we had talked about so I'm now going to just do a video right after this meeting, just to get something. So that will be my deliverable. And then Joel is working on other stuff.
Yeah, we did get most of
our members added to the Thorpe Academy LSC email, so it gets forwarded out to everybody. As I think there's a small sign-up process when you get that email from Gmail saying, do you want to be part of this? Click the link to accept it. Once you accept it, I can then go one more step and add you onto that to get the emails forwarded. And then it's going to be a bunch of email over email as we respond, but still, as we respond to parents, let's continue to copy Thorpe Academy LSC email group back into that, so everybody sees that somebody did respond, what did they respond, and so on. And it also gave us the opportunity to see that, some parents had feedback about the parent report card pickup, and, they had some suggestions and things that we'll be talking about later on. So that's done. We tried to meet this month, but we couldn't make the date with the holidays and everything. So we're gonna try to doodle out a date for January, try to meet early January. Mr. Polito brought up the email, which again, we see that there's a lot of participation in there. There's also very lengthy content in there, so maybe next we'd like to tackle that to see how we can.
Are you talking about the Friday?
Friday
Yeah.
letter, how do we make it, better?
Right, yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so school committee and organization reports and discussion. Harriet, did you want to say anything about Mrs. Thorpe? I couldn't get it on the agenda.
Oh, no,
to
that's
do
okay, I
this.
have the dates. I'm Harriet Marchon, I'm this year's president of Friends of Thorpe. We just wanted to say thank you to everyone who came out over the weekend. It was great, lots of fun, the kids had a great time hogging their wares, so it's great. We made a total revenue of a little over 3,000. After expenses, it came out to about 2,400. Right now, we are sitting at 68,000. We only have 2 items for approval. We have the upcoming pub quiz, which is Sunday, January 27th. Last year was from 3 to 6. I'm hoping to push it back earlier. I don't want to be out that late on a Sunday. So maybe 2 to 5, 3 to 6, sometime in the afternoon. Spring auction, it'll be Friday, March 22nd, 6:30 p.m. We tried to get it on the Teacher Institute Day. It was booked. We're hearing some grumblings that it's during March Madness, but there's a Millennial next door. You can check it on the score. You may come back. But March 22nd.
That is the
Spring auction. It was formerly Taste of Thorpe. Yeah, we call it. Tot.
Yeah.
It's just for the record, every year it's March Madness, so I don't know what people are saying. Mr. Kaufman and I watch games on that phone over there every year.
I agree. The later you get into April, it starts to get into wedding season. So
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, I'm just saying
Yeah,
every
we'll
year,
bring in
it's
a
so
TV.
they, I don't know what.
We'll put in the TV in the hall and in the lobby. Thank you.
So we will be, we're gonna have a special meeting where we're approving a lot of things all at once. We're gonna approve those at that special meeting.
So in terms of advertising, do you know when that special meeting would be? Because we'd like to get the ticket website up and running. Get the auction dates, say the dates out.
We don't know exactly, but we're gonna be talking about it, but we need to try to figure out.
We'd like to get that advertising.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a quick question. So what are the funds going for this year?
So initially, we were thinking field improvements or upgrade. After discussion, it might not be plausible. So we are considering other options as far as outdoor beautification. We've got Cam Tui, she's got some connections with architects and landscape architects. We're looking at that. We're in meetings with Mr. Toledo So I'll update you on the next.
So what was the thing you wanted to do that's not going to be feasible?
An outdoor field, like an athletic field.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so part of the conversations were, let's put AstroTurf on the field. And awesome, be really great. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's take a look and see. So Hitch did it. It was roughly $1 million.
Whoa.
Right? So it was a big, it was a big field, right? And that their field was actually a little bit smaller than ours.
So we're talking about the Westfield.
Westfield.
Yeah, right.
So I asked and I said, can we think about maybe the East playground? And some of the parents were like, well, the big kids aren't on there, but everybody's on the East playground. Everybody uses it. So we were, one of the things I suggested is going back to that master plan from back in 2012, 13, something like that, and readdressing it even with our kids so that we can start coming up and then like breaking up that East playground into the different sections that are on that master plan so that we can start cutting out some of the asphalt. Now that the drainage is no longer a problem because that was part of the issue that we had, we were like, wow, we have to deal with drainage too, it's gonna be a lot more expensive, but the drainage thing was a minor fix, minor $8,000 fix. But it's taken care of. So I think, and Ms. Toohey and Ms. Ferry and, yeah, there was somebody else on that committee. Okay, yeah, and Ms. Harmon, so that's where they're looking for the improvements on the East playground. And then working towards a major project with the alderman, with the city, with the park district, and looking to see how we can address the west playground eventually. But this one will give you like more bang for your buck at once, it's sort of like, hey, you put in the money, now look at what happens on this section of the playground. As opposed to we're thinking about this being a 6-year project.
You have a copy of that master plan?
Yeah, it's on the website.
On the website?
Yeah, it's if you type in, I'll show it up on the principal report.
Are we gonna have a rain since that rain?
Thanks so much.
And the website has the most space.
The west side, so the west side of East is used for our PE classes, and in the spring, we normally, we use both sides. The kids like the playground a lot better than they like the west side of the lot. But in the plans that we were talking about, there's a whole nature part to that west side that we may want to look at. But again, these were things that were done, 6 years ago. So it may be something that the kids may want to revisit, because if you look at that plan, it's set up before the playground, right? So there's certain things that happened after the plan was actually in place. So, but like I said, I'll show you where it is. If you go on the website, you just type in Fort Campus Plan, you'll see it.
Great, so, anything else?
I just wanna note that I think Friends of Thorpe has a smile.amazon page, so it's hard to do it when you're one-click ordering on the app, I still can't figure it out, but when you do it on the website, be sure to use smile.amazon. Select Friends of Thorpe as the beneficiary for charity, goes towards that. Is that correct?
Yes, but can you go over that one click in the app?
No, I'm just saying, I can't figure out how to do it over the app.
Oh, I see.
Because there's no way to connect to smile.amazon, but on a website, instead of going to amazon.com, if you go to smile.amazon, one time you select Friends of Thorpe as the charity beneficiary, then a percentage of that goes to them.
So
Just do it always?
So there's no way to
Yeah,
do it in
once
the
you
app.
do it,
They set that up so the app will work with it, but it's exactly what you said. You have to go through the website on your phone in order to do it.
Yes, I mean, it's great, we get a lot of, it's passive fundraising, but we get money through access.
Once you go on one to do, Joel, you don't every time you go on to do.
yeah, once, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Every time you go to Amazon, smile.amazon.com, and then it remembers, and you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you practically need like a workshop to show people how to use that.
I'll try it straight.
For the other nonprofits.
That would be good to have a table, like
Yeah.
Parker pickup, we can have a table and
Yeah, it's one,
have
yeah,
people do it while they're there.
one nonprofit that you can pick.
Well, one thought too is to have a table at the LSC, which we really haven't had before, where we sign them, do their surveys. Okay, so, PTA.
Hi. Hi, my name is Leonie O'Brien, and I'm speaking for PTA today. Don't think I wrote into that. We have a fundraiser as a parent Zumba night, Friday, January 11th, from 6 to 8 p.m. It would be suggested donations, so I hope to
Okay, so it's for Friday when?
January 11th, from 6 to 8 p.m. in the gym.
What is the event? I'm sorry.
Zumba, parent Zumba night.
Oh, see ya.
And that's a
I mean,
fundraiser.
that's
Send that
a
to
watch.
Elena.
Yeah.
And that's a fundraiser?
Well, suggested donation, it's more of a community building more so than a.
Okay, okay. Since that's not a fundraiser, we can't go ahead and give provisional approval for that for now. So can I have someone move to approve the Zumba night?
I second it.
Third.
All in favor of approving the Zumba night for BTA? All right. Motion carries. Zumba night.
We'll see you all there.
January 11th, that sounds great.
Well, you should be well by then.
8th grade committee, 7th grade committee, I know they're kind of one and the same. Do we have
Yep.
reports for that?
So, we've had, so our goal right now, our next payment is $10,000, right? For the Washington trip, it breaks up like something like $30,000 to send for all the kids that are going. So we've broken that down into basically monthly goals. We've raised, goodness, I don't have hard numbers, I know Maria does. Something like, I want to say $4 grand towards that already, which is actually pretty good. That's for the 7th graders going out to Washington, so that number gets cut off at the top. We're doing, the way that we've structured our committee is that it's a 7th and 8th grade committee. So the beginning is really, it's gonna be shared, right? So we're gonna continue doing fundraising throughout the year because even though the Washington trip happens in March, the fundraising will continue for that 7th and 8th grade committee for next year. Our goal is to always have the 8th grade activities paid up, so we don't have to worry about it. And this year, our 8th grade activities have all been paid up. So we're focusing primarily on the 7th. Once we're done with the 7th, then
Then they'll start fundraising for their next year.
Correct.
Because they will be here for the
Right.
next year.
Right.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that they never have to worry about, oh, we have to raise money for our banquet or for the trips and that type of stuff.
So that's all already raised?
The 8th grade is, yeah, the 8th grade's okay.
And so the DC trip, you've raised $4,000 so far?
Roughly, maybe more than that. I have to ask Maria what the actual totals are on that.
What was your goal to raise?
Well, we're trying to get as much of that down as possible. So our goal is 30,000, but we're not there. No, we're hoping. So our next payment is January. I want to say second week of January, and